Hello, fourth graders. Welcome. We're going to call this lesson 6.16. It's not one that you're going to find in your math journal, but it is an important fourth grade skill. Before we get going on that, though, what's your favorite book that you've read recently? All right. Reading every day is something that's very important. It helps you to continue to grow and excel in all areas, right? Think about how much reading we do here in our math class. Let's see, at the time of this recording, I just finished a book called Class Act by Jerry Craft. It was a graphic novel, and I enjoyed it a lot. We have a little word problem here that says, Ruth and 3 of her friends read some young Hoosier books. The next day, Ruth read 3 more. How many books have they all read? All right, what I want you to notice here is that there are 2 things that we don't know. Usually we're just solving for one thing that we don't know, right? But there are 2 things that we don't know. Tell me one thing that we don't know. All right, and now tell me one more thing that we don't know. Okay, if you look at this question and if you dig into this here, of course we don't know this. I'm sure everybody mentioned this, right? How many books have they all read? We don't know the total amount of young Hoosier books that they have read, but we also, look at this word some. See this? We don't know how many each of them have read either. We do know how many more Ruth read, and we do know how many people there are. I'm going to show you a new way to represent this. Take a look at this. Okay. In fact, let's just look up at the top here. 4x plus 3 equals y. Oh my goodness. There are 2 variables. Remember, these letters, we call them variables here in math. They can represent a number, and we've got 2 of these here. This is the new ideas today. So let's think back. What does the 4 stand for in the problem? Let's look back at this problem. What were there 4 of? There are 4 friends, right? 4 girls. So 4 girls, right? This right here is the girls. What about the X? 4 of them did what? What did they do in the problem that we don't know? Okay, the X is going to stand for the number of books that they had read. Okay, so this X is going to stand for that number. Okay, now what about the 3? What is the 3? Look back. What does the 3 stand for? The 3 stands for how many Ruth read the next day. We do know that piece of information. And then the Y, and sometimes you'll see the Y written here at the end, and then sometimes you'll see it here at the beginning. The Y stands for the total number of books that they've read. Okay, so let's then talk about how we would solve this. So let's say that X equals 2. So what was X again? X was the number of books that each girl has read, right? It's the sum, not sum, S-U-M, but it's the word sum. We don't know how many books that each girl or each of the friends has read. If we just say, okay, they each read 2, what we're going to do is we're going to put that 2 in here. Now, be careful, because when I say put the 2 in there, I don't mean make that 42. What I mean is to have 4 groups of 2, right? 4 2s. So if you think about 4 2s equals 8, right? Because 4 times 2 is 8. So now we know that the 4 friends, if each one read 2 books, they read 8 total. Then let's keep this. Then Ruth read 3 more. And so the total, this Y, is going to be 11. And you'll see people write it like this: y equals 11. All right. What are your thoughts here? Pretty weird? All right. Once you get the hang of it, and the key thing here is to not make this 42, but to make it 4 groups of 2. Once you have that, you'll be in pretty good shape. So how many books have they read in all in a complete sentence? They have read 11 books in all. Right? That complete sentence helps you make sure that you answered the question. Our objective here today is to solve math expressions with variables. And you can see in this standard why we're talking about this. See this equation right here? We have to be able to figure out what to do when 2 variables, when 2 letters are in the same equation. This is algebra. You might have heard your big sister in high school or big brother in high school talk about algebra, right? And that's actually what we're doing. So this is pretty cool. You can go to your parents and you can say, oh, Mr. White taught me how to do algebra today. There you go, right? So let's look now at a different example, okay? So if x equals 3. So listen to me as I show you what I would do here. I see y. Remember I said that y could be at the beginning. And honestly, we're going to use y and x, but you could make these any letter. You can make this A and this B. It doesn't matter. So if x equals 3, what does y equal? So what we're saying here is that this x is worth 3. Now, that is not 23. Don't turn this into the tens place. This means, this means 2 groups of 3. 2 threes. 2 threes is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay? If I had just thought about it as 23, that's going to change the whole thing and make it wrong. So I have 6, and then I need to keep this part plus 9, and that equals here 15. So the solution here, we would say y equals 15. All right, and now if I changed the x to a different number, then it would change y. But this problem told me that x equals 3. All right, let's do some together here. Here we have a word problem. Oh, look at me out there on a hike, Mr. White. Big hiking fan, if you don't know me very well. Mr. White walked some miles each day for 5 days. Then he walked 6 miles over the weekend. How many miles did he walk in all? So let's have you tell me what 2 things do we not know here? And I know you're not probably sure yet, but I want you to try to write an equation here, right? We're gonna stretch our brains a little bit. We're gonna use an x and a y, and I want you to give that a shot. So write an equation that's going to go with this problem. Try your best. All right, here's how I would think through this, right? We're kind of working on this together since Mr. White showed you the first one. Here's the sum. And so I do the sum miles for 5 days. So that means I'm going to have 5 of something. We'll call it x. Then I walked 6 miles over the weekend, and I saw in all here. So that in all is almost always an adding word. So 5 of something that I don't know plus 6 more is equal to, we'll call it y. All right. So when we want to solve this, let's solve this. Let's say that we need to know what x is. X now equals 4. So take this 4 and put it right here. Now, what I want you to tell me first is how much does this part equal now? And don't say 54. Okay, this is worth 20. Y, so if I have 5x and x is equal to 4. Why is that part 20? This part is 20 because 5 fours. This is like 5 fours, not 54. 5 fours equals 20. 5 times 4, if you said that, that equals 20. All right, now let's see if you can tell me what else I need to do. What else do I need to do to get the answer? Okay, I need to add 6 more. And when I do that, hopefully you said 26. Okay, so I hiked 26 miles. That would be a whole lot of miles in 1 week. All right, now just one here with the pure numbers. Let's see, I've got this one and one more. So we'll do this one together. You'll do the next one on your own. Here we have 2 X's, 2 8s. So again, what is this piece right here? Don't say 28. It's worth 2 8s. How much is that part? It is worth 16. 2 8s is 16. And so our answer would be 1. All right, you get to try one by yourself here. Give this one a try all the way. Be able to tell me the answer. Okay, let's check your work. 7 sevens. 7 times 7 is 49. Now, if you knew it was 7 sevens but didn't say 49, that's a problem with your multiplication facts, right? And that's something that you have to work hard to be able to practice. 49 plus 13, well, that's going to need some carrying. And so writing that off to the side is a good idea in your notebook or on your dry erase board to get 62. If you didn't get 62, think about why. Did you make this 77? Don't do that. Did you not know 7 times 7? Or did you put 48 here or 42? Or maybe you had 49 plus 13 and you just maybe didn't add correctly. So take time and add those numbers carefully and correctly. All right, our goal here today is to solve math expressions with variables correctly. And you're going to have some to do on your own. I'm going to assign those to you. Remind yourself that when you see this, right, we don't just take the 10 and make this 210, right? This is 2 groups of 10, which equal 20. And that's going to help you to meet this objective to solve these math expressions with variables correctly. All right, 4th graders, that is all for today. I will see you next time. If you have any questions about variables or expressions or X and Y, be sure to reach out and let me know. And good luck.